Welcome back, my Jedi friends, and today we're going to cover the topic of don't deal with arseholes. Don't deal with arseholes. Now, this is really just a consolidation of a lot of the stuff that I have said up until now. But firstly, let's qualify. What is an arsehole? What's an arsehole? Because lots of people call lots of people arseholes. I've been called an arsehole plenty of times. So let's clarify that before we go on. So, for the average empath, this topic is deliberately clickbaity and it's deliberately controversial because your default setting is that everybody's good until proven guilty. Everyone's innocent till proven guilty. Let's start there, folks. Let's start there. So, what would I classify as an arsehole? An arsehole is somebody who, on multiple occasions, has pissed you off. And there's not many people that manage to piss you off. Now, if you're the irascible one, the get angry easily, then everyone's going to piss you off and everyone's an arsehole. And that's not necessarily relevant. And who's making the definition anyway? Any word, anything that we talk about is subject to different words, have different meanings for different people. So this title is going to mean different things to different people watching the video. For clarity, I would define an arsehole as somebody who just always, or more often than not, goes out and gets a rise out of pissing people off. They get a rise from pissing people off. That's what they do, folks. It's probably a narcissist involved. Probably a narcissist. I could have called Don't Deal with Narcissists, but that wouldn't be as clickbaity as this one. So we call them arseholes. Arseholes, folks. So before we go too far down this route, let's just clarify one thing that all assholes are positive in the world of an empath because they're here to wake you up. Now, you're not going to see that until you're through the other side, through enough to see that they've given you a new set of skills to evolve you as a person, to not be sweetness and light to everyone, to know that if you need to, you can show up, that you can mirror the arsehole factor. Because one thing that I can tell you usually about dealing with arseholes is they don't like their own medicine, folks. They don't like their own medicine. And they've been getting away with it for way too long. Way too long. They've been getting away with this shit. Getting away with it, they have, until the point where they don't even see that it's an issue or problem. They're quite happy to dish it out, but if they're on the receiving end, they're super sensitive, folks. Super sensitive. They give it, but they can't take it. They're givers, but they're not takers. But it's talking bullshit. We're talking bullshit factor here. When it comes to bullshit, they give it quite a lot. But can they take it? No, they can't, folks. No, they can't. So this is your guide to dealing with an arsehole. And it's going to be uncomfortable for the average empath. Should you not just walk away? The answer to that question is yes. Yes. Before you even entertain anything that I say on this video, the best thing you can do is just stop talking to them. That's it. Get out. Don't talk to them. Don't deal with them. Don't speak to them. Even if they're speaking to you, just let it go. Drive them nuts. You not speaking is your last bastion of fuck you without actually telling people to fuck you. The art of saying fuck you without actually saying fuck you is to not speak to someone. To let them speak to you, but then just say nothing to them. Now that takes a discipline, folks. And now we're down the slightly worse off than just walking away. Walking away is often the best way to get out of situations, especially when arseholes are involved. But this is for people that regularly offend. And for whatever reason, you have to put up with them. Could be a work colleague, could be someone in the family that you have to show up at certain gatherings and you know they're going to piss you off. Well, if you know they're going to piss you off, folks, the first thing you have to get rid of is the need uh, to to not respond to their bullshit. So many good people, empaths, we don't like to rock the boat. We don't like to hand out negativity. But one thing, it's like the bully on the playground. They'll go around bullying everyone until they get a smack in the mouth. Now, they might smack the person that smacked them in the mouth, but they'll be less likely to bully them again when there's easier targets. When there's easier targets, folks. So, what you're about to do is to make yourself a less easy target, to get ourselves to think twice about rattling your cage. which is why it's good within our armory to have the ability to be an arsehole to an arsehole. Ah, the art of being an arsehole to an arsehole. What does that mean, Adam? What are you talking about? Do I really want to be an arsehole? Well, no, if you're an empath, you will understand being able to show up in different places as different people. So the average empath, that you're sensitive to energy. So if you're in with a bunch of gangsters, the odds are your energy is going to change. For if you're in the lords and ladies of the realm, you'd be in a different energy there. To if you were just in with your friends and family, you show up as different people. You can adjust because you're empathic. You're sensitive to energy, so you're empathic. So this is about a new skill set that usually comes later in life when you've endured so many people giving you shit for no apparent reason and letting it go. And what you're starting to realize now is that letting stuff go doesn't always work, especially if you take it home. You say you're letting it go, but you're not. And that's the energy we're dealing with today. Are you letting it go, or is it eating away? Is it eating away inside of you? I should have said this. I should have done that. I shouldn't have listened to that. I shouldn't have put up with this shit for as long as I did. They're the sort of earworms that get inside your head when your self-dialogue starts telling you things like this, when you've walked away, when you've been the greater good, when the frequent offender turns up, when they do their passive aggression, when they do get away with all sorts of shit, and you just let them. You let them walk all over you, folks. Well, this is to stop people walking over you. This is your hedgehog coat. Your hedgehog coat. You're going to be spiky. You're going to learn to be spiky. And how do you do that, folks? Well, it's very simple to do. It's very simple to explain. Let's make a critical analysis. For the average empath, it's going to be hugely uncomfortable to do. It's very simple to explain. You give them their own medicine. Most people who are arseholes do not like their own medicine. And I'll keep repeating that because it's so important. If you want to know whether you're dealing with someone that's measured or worth dealing with, give them a taste of their own medicine. If they keep coming into your space, if you're at work, if you can't escape these arseholes, there's a certain point where you may want to give them a taste of their own medicine. Now, if it's your boss, that's a little bit more complicated, folks. I'm going to suggest that you start looking for another job before you take any of the advice in this video but you certainly want to be exploring alternative paths if that's you. We're going to find the Zen. That's why I've got this background for dealing with arseholes. This is where I want you to be emotionally, in a Zen place, that when everything's firing at you, you can get to this place in your mind where you're bulletproof. And how do you become bulletproof? You become bulletproof by being like a skunk, being like a skunk. Now, why do I use like a skunk? Well, people will know not to get too close to a skunk because they can kick up a stink and cover them in shit. And that is what you're going to be doing to these arseholes. If they know that there could be, you could cover them in shit. You could come at them. You could make their life a little bit miserable. You could incentivize them not wanting to piss you off. That is the goal of what I'm talking about today. And just for clarity, I'll always say the first thing is walk away. These are for people that you cannot walk away from. You're stuck with them at work. You're stuck with them at home for now. For now, you're always going to explore ways to get out, but until you can get out, this is the skill set that you have to learn. And this is the difference of this is going into the crowded playground. You know that there's bullies there, but you being fearless because you have techniques which can deal with them. This is the verbal linguistic martial arts class that makes you not fear bullies. And you do that by calling them out and giving them a taste of their own medicine. And that's probably going to be hugely uncomfortable if this is new to you. But it's the best way, folks. And not only that, part of being spiritual isn't being nice all the time. Spiritual and nice, let's talk about that for a while. You being nice to everyone is not a spiritual path, folks. Part of the spiritual journey, if it's spiritual, let's just call it, I don't even know. Spiritual, is that really the word? Our purpose for being here, our purpose of self-discovery, self-actualization. Let's take this to Maslow. Let's not even talk about spirituality. Let's talk about self-actualization. Let's talk about Maslow. As you evolve as a person, your ability to adapt and adjust to situations and environments around you and the people around you is directly linked to your well-being and your capacity to move up that hierarchy, to navigate it flawlessly. And this is about having techniques. This is a bit like going to a mountain and how well prepared are you? There might be bits where having a pick in your backpack is going to help you. This is the pick in your backpack. You might not need it. There might be a long part of the journey where that pick's absolutely useless, but there might be the time where it could save your life. Now, maybe this won't save your life, could do, but maybe it probably won't, but it will save your sanity, folks. Knowing that you have this in your backpack on this journey is an extra tool to navigate certain situations that hopefully you won't get in, but you're almost definitely going to eventually. Dealing with arseholes, folks. And we all have to deal with them occasionally. So part of the thing is to give them a taste of their own medicine. What they do to you, do to them. Give it to them back and see how they like it. And when they react, then you can do what they usually do to you and just sit back and let things unfold. What that does energetically, the average empath, we deal with bullshit behavior, we internalize it. Now, if you can let that go straight away, instant forgiveness, everything that I'm telling you now is irrelevant. But if you're taking this stuff in and you're taking it home and you're having to deal with it and you're telling yourself, why did I just put up with that? Why did I deal? That's the energy we're talking about here. And the reason you're feeling that is because you're being invited to learn the skill set so that it doesn't happen again, or people will think twice, or they'll pick an easier target. You do not want to be the easy target, my Jedi friends. And to do that, you need to give a bit. You need to give a bit of bullshit to the assholes every now and again. Give them a taste of their own medicine, a taste of their own medicine. Or we call them out. As we've talked about in previous videos, you call out their bullshit. You just vocalize, you verbalize what they're doing. Why are you saying things like this to me? What makes you think that this is all right to say? How does this go down at home? You can make jabs at them, but why are you being passive aggressive now? Why are you being passive aggressive? That's a good one. Most people can't answer that question in any way good because they've never been asked the question, because they've never been called out on it, folks. They've never been called out on it. And it will make them hugely uncomfortable, and it will definitely make them think twice about doing it again if you start calling out bullshit behavior. So, folks, that's how you deal with arseholes. There's plenty more videos on this channel. This is just a little bit of an overview to take you to that Zen-like place that we all want to be at more often than not. So this is the tool in your backpack that hopefully you won't need to use that often, but it's better to have it than not have it, because you never know when you're going to be in the terrain where you're going to need that ice pick. And for those old enough to have watched Fatal Attraction, we're not talking about that context. We're not looking to kill anyone here, folks. It's just an analogy for the linguistic things that you can do to get yourself out of arsehole situations. So there you go, my Jedi friends. You will give it back to arseholes. You will give them a bit of pain and a taste of their own medicine. And you will make them think twice about ever pissing you off in the first place.